person.
What did
You know
she
what I'm
do?
saying? So, she didn't have to work. I let her move into my house 3 years ago, and she got 2 twin boys. She does nothing to support. Our agreement was that she would pay $400.
We never had no agreement. We ain't never had no agreement.
$400 on
Hang
rent.
on 1 second, Miss Faye Austin. Excuse me. We will not have any outbursts like that. We're just gonna sit here and let her say whatever she wants. I'm just gonna sit here and let her say what she wants to while I'm speaking to her. And when it's your turn, I will allow you the opportunity to do the same thing. There will be no more outbursts. We're clear? Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, so we agreed that she would pay $400 a month, plus she would pay $275 a month, so I'll put her kids in.
Hold on a second. Her mother is also covering her children's insurance? The issue only continues to worsen. While she makes excuses, how can she allow her mother to pay $275 every month? She promised to reimburse her, but to her utter amazement, she hasn't. She should be able to cover her own children's basic needs if she is making money from working and braiding hair. It's unjust that her mother pays all the expenses while she keeps all of her earnings for herself. That is blatantly irresponsible in addition to being selfish.
Total in 3 months of $200. There's always some excuse why she couldn't pay. And I said, and I told her, I want a fixed income, you know, and I'm doing all this for you and the kids. I'm buying the food, paying the electricity, you know, I'm the one to get up and take them to school in the morning while she's asleep, you know, and she has a job. Plus she does braid people's hair on the weekend.
Where does she work? What does she do?
She works at a telecommunications company.
Okay.
And I think she said she's a customer service somebody thing, but
she braids hair on the side.
Ma'am.
You say she braids hair on the side?
Yes, she does. In my back room.
All right.
And her clients come in, she give her clients snacks and stuff I don't bought for the kids, and just like she don't bought something. So I told her, you gonna have to start doing better.
All right.
And she told me,
wait a minute, Miss Faye Austin, let me stop you really quickly.
Okay.
You said she braids hair in the home. Do you know how much money she makes roughly on average a month?
Well, I know she charges about $300 to $400 depending on the length of your hair.
Mm-hmm.
And she normally on the weekends do at least 3 to 4 heads.
Okay.
So I would say on the average, if we just do the lower end of it, she probably works about $1,200 on a Saturday. And sometimes she does it on Sunday, but most times it's on Saturday, all day Saturday.
So about $1,200 every week.
Right.
Okay. Keep going. Continue.
Yes, ma'am.
Continue.
And, okay. So I told her, I said, well, you can give me some of that, you know, to help out. And on you living here and me taking care of the kids, and I'm using the gas to go take them to their soccer practice and to their football practice. And she tells me,
You're meant to do that, she said to her mother when she was questioned about looking after the children. That is among the most egregious and entitled things I have ever heard. She was raised by her mother. Is she now expected to nurture her grandchildren as well? Grandparents are not second parents or free babysitters. Her daughter merely sits back and pretends that it's some sort of duty, while her mother takes care of everything, including rent, food, insurance, and everything else. That is blatantly disrespectful in addition to being embarrassing.
like, I ain't had no twins,
Okay.
you know, but I love my grandkids, so I hate for them to be without just because their mama is trifling.
Okay. All right. So we're going to not name call either. Okay. I understand you. I understand your emotions are high. It's not a problem. I understand.
I'm sorry, y'all.
I understand exactly how you feel. I know what you're saying. It's plenty of grandmothers coming in this court feel exactly the same way that you do. I just ask that, you know, you just be respectful to one another.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Now, how old are the twins?
The twins are 10.
All right. And you said they're boys?
They're boys, 2 boys.
All right. Are they involved in any kind of extracurricular activities?
Yes, they play football and they play soccer and basketball.
All right. And does mom help out with any of that?
No. She always said, well, go ahead and pay their fees and I'll give it back to you. But I never give it back.
she lives in the home. Does she actually live there, or does she just sleep there and she lives somewhere else?
No, she lives there. She sleeps somewhere else every night. You know. But that's why I knew she was supposed to pay me $400 for them to live there.
Okay.
Because she got put out of her last place. So I said, okay, you can come home, but you know, I'm on a fixed income, so you give me $400 a month. And then she said, okay. And I think she made it pay $200 one time, and that's it.
All right. Are the
And then
children on health insurance or anything?
And then, ma'am,
Are the children on health insurance or anything?
the children, I put them in insurance. So I asked her, do you have insurance on these kids? And she said, I can't afford it. So I said, well, they need insurance. They play sports and stuff, and they get sick, and we don't have our number. So I got insurance, and she agreed that she would pay me back each month, but I had to pay the insurance.
How much do you pay for the children only?
The children only is $275.
$275. Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her?
I know you. I just need her to do the right thing. Just need her to do the right thing, and hope you can make her do the right thing.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I can make her. You know, I can only do what the law allows, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, let me ask you a question about the living arrangements. You said this is supposed to be temporary?
It was supposed to be temporary until she found her a place to stay that they could afford. But it's been 3 years, and I don't think.
After living in her mother's home for 3 years, she still hasn't found a permanent residence? That is perpetual freeloading, not just temporary. Instead of helping her get back on her feet, her mother is making excuses about rent and deposits. She's working a job and running a side business in the meantime. Why, therefore, has she not stored anything? She could have moved out by now if she had saved even a small portion of what her mother spends on her and her children. It's absurd. How at ease she appears to be with doing nothing. What honor is there in that?
And she keeps saying, well, I don't have the money to get a place that's nice enough for me and the boys, and that I can afford. And then people want a high deposit and all this kind of stuff. So, you know, I'm like, okay, you know, but I need you to help out, you know, and that's fine, because you can't live nowhere else for $400.
Okay, yep, that's a good point. That's a good point. All right. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her?
Yes, Your Honor. She, you know, she's always...
She not only places all the burden on her mother, but she also neglects her own children. This is simply devastating. She goes out with her friends or hangs out with a man while her mother is at home looking after the kids. Is it the mother or the grandmother who is actually rearing these children? It is difficult to accept that someone could be so irresponsible. While her daughter lives as if she has no responsibilities, her mother, who didn't opt for this life, is forced to play the roles of both parent and provider. It is utterly unjust and a betrayal of family and trust.
With her girls and kick it, or she got to be with a man and kick it, and so, you know, I was like, you're not even trying to be a part of these kids' life. You just want to be fancy free and let somebody else take care of your kids. So,
Okay.
you know, that's, you know,
Okay, so
it's just too much.
can I move over to her, or is there anything else?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Okay. Now, you have the opportunity to let me know what you want me to know, respectfully. So, I mean, what's all that about? The huffing, puffing?
Because she's lying. She's telling half truths and sitting over there in her Christian outfit, like everything she's saying is the gospel. Yes, me and my children did move in with her 3 years ago, but what she didn't say was, it's because I had a tragic divorce with my ex-husband, who her and her church members just wanted me to marry this guy because he was so churchly and good, and he ended up being the devil. And in our divorce, he wiped us clean.
Okay.
And my credit was messed up. He took all the money and he left, and he did all of that, and so it left us devastated. So my mother said that it was cool for us to come and stay with her while I get things together. And
So
We
let
need to
me
get back on our feet.
I understand all of that, but let me ask you a question. So this just to fill in the gaps, right? So is it true what she said that you're supposed to give her $400?
No, that was never an agreement.
Okay, hold on. So was there any agreement for you to give her any money to financially support your children?
She said to
No, that was a yes or no.
not in that way. Not in
Okay.
that way.
So explain the way.
So when we talked initially, before even moving in, it was y'all just come, just take your time, get yourself together. I got you guys. I got my grandbabies, who she was very instrumental in. I want grandbabies, I want grandbabies, I want grandbabies, I want grandbabies, I want grandbabies. So I'm giving
So
you the
because she's
opportunity.
instrumental in wanting grandbabies, that means that she has to take care of them too?
It doesn't mean she has to take. I'm saying she's not telling the full story how it is. It was never an agreement on a dollar amount of being able to help. It's just do what you can when you can.
So was there ever an agreement for it to be a temporary situation?
Well, yes.
You'd agree with me that 3 years is no longer temporary, right?
I would say it's no longer temporary, but in the moments where I would say, you know what, I'm gonna do what I can and see what I can to get. It was her, the one that was talking about, oh, that's not a good place for my grandbabies. You don't need to take them over there, and I worry about y'all safety over there, and that's too far, and that'll
So
be
are
taking
you
them out of
trying
their
to?
turn.
So are you? And please just stop beating on the table.
I'm sorry.
All of that is not
sorry.
necessary. I can assure you
I'm
it's
sorry.
not.
Just emotional.
Is I understand. Y'all need to calm down. All right.
I can't believe I'm even here. This is ridiculous.
Well, this is where you come when you want some relief. When you are wanting certain things to happen, you come to court to take care of it. It's unfortunate that the two of you couldn't work it out because you're mother and daughter. But this is where you come, right?
The fact that this matter has to go to court is absurd. Imagine being so careless that your mother had to take legal action to get you to step up. She doesn't believe she has done anything wrong, as evidenced by the fact that she is still making excuses. Even families have their boundaries. You can't expect your mother to always put her own health first. It's obvious that grandma, not their mother, is the only reason those kids are receiving stability, even though they deserve it. These children will grow up believing that this type of behavior is typical if she doesn't alter her perspective. To be honest, it's plain sense that the court shouldn't even be engaged.
Move out yourself and leave the children with her.
I mean, she knows what the situation is. I mean, when I was working, would she know at this point that there was a huge layoff because of COVID and why I started doing hair in the first place to try and make amends? So for her to sit over here talking about, oh, I got all these jobs and I got all this finance coming in at this point, it's just ridiculous. And it just shows to, just how low she'll stoop to how she behaves and how she acts.
But she letting you live for free. She's been allowing you to do it for 3 years. She pays for everything for your children. She feeds your children. She takes them to school. She pays for health insurance. She's literally doing everything. You're doing nothing.
But that's her story. I'm doing more than that. I'm doing exactly what I can. I cook, I clean, I do what the stuff she asked me to do for church.
Hold on. Cooking and cleaning for a house that you reside in, you don't get any credit for that. Okay? You should do those things, right? But in terms of your children, what are you doing? Because she said she's doing it all.
Her mother takes care of everything, including providing for the children's food, transportation, health insurance, and even sports expenses. And yet the daughter has the audacity to pretend that cleaning and cooking are contributions of some sort? That's the very least you can do when you reside in someone else's home, and it's not helpful. While the daughter sits there making excuses, her mother, who is on a fixed income, is the one who keeps the whole family together. She is acting so entitled when she is obviously not doing nearly enough, and it is horrible. It is completely unethical that she is taking advantage of her own mother.
Get this stuff for their school. She's not always the one taking them to school.
Okay,
I mean, I don't even know why you in here acting like
let's
you
not
do that.
derail this thing because you never answered my original question.
So
Do you plan to move out with your children, or do you plan on moving out and allowing them to stay with her?
Well, I mean, at this point, she's dragging me all in here to court. I mean, I want to go out. I want to go out and move and like find me and get me situated, and then I will be able to come back and get them and get the boys.
So the boys are going to stay with her. When are you trying to move out?
Like ASAP, because this is ridiculous. Like I can't even believe you brought me here with this.
When you say
foolishness.
ASAP, do you mean that you're going to leave court today and go find somewhere?
I mean, no, I'm gonna have to like get on my hustle, to like try and figure out, where I'm gonna go and what I'm gonna do and how much is that gonna take.
What are we looking at in timeline? Because we know the boys are going to stay with her when this happens. So timeline, you need a reasonable timeline that you're talking about doing this.
Within the next 2 months, I would say.
2 months, okay. That's exactly what I needed to know.
I ain't trying to stay where I ain't wanted.
Well, I don't think that's what she's saying, ma'am. She's just saying she wants a little bit of assistance. She's not saying she's not willing to help you. That's not a fair assessment. How much money do you make a year?
At this point, probably around about 25.
25,000?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You actually make more than that because we're going to deem that braiding as income. Now, she said you make about $1,200 a week. Is that true?
That is not true.
How much do you make a week?
It just fluctuates on how my clientele.
Well, let's just do it by average then. On a monthly basis, how much money do you say you bring in from braiding hair?
I would say monthly. Monthly, I would say $1,200.
Monthly, $1,200?
Yes, because
And you do 3 or 4 heads?
I don't get heads. I don't get heads all the time. And some of the people you see me braid, it's like some of my girlfriends who, if I braid their hair, like they'll do my nails or they'll do my lashes or, they'll grab my kids from school for me if I need them to. It's like we help each other out. So I'm not
No,
always
I look
getting
like I was
money.
born yesterday.
No.
Right. So you want me to sit here and believe that braiding hair and you're charging how much per head?
It just depends. I mean, shorter ones, 80, longer ones, like 250.
That's not what she says. And she lives in a house,
But she's
with
not. She's
you.
not working with my clientele, and it really.
So you don't tell her how much you get paid?
No, because she really helped him puff around the house, and really the only reason we're here because my boyfriend Tank Daddy, who she was dating, broke up with her, and she was pissed about it. And so I didn't agree with the situation. So that's the only reason why we really here is because she mad because I didn't take her side in the situation. When grown folks don't do what grown folks don't do, and that ain't none of my business. But I'm the one getting the grip for it. I'm the one that's not doing something. I'm the one that's not doing what I'm supposed to do for my kids. So now it's an issue with my kids because her and my boyfriend's dad ain't in the right spot. And just because I didn't take her side. It wasn't no side to take. It ain't none of my business.
All right. And you know what? That's none of my business too, but let me tell you what is my business. I have your gross calculated at $3,283. That $1,200 that you just testified to, I'm deeming that as income in addition to what you make monthly. So that's how I got to that number, $3,283. That brings your net to $2,798. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right number. Yes, $2,798.18. Do you have any other children outside of the 2 boys? No. Okay, and you're also going to pay for health insurance reimbursement to your mom. So, monthly child support comes out to $699. Well, $670. We're going to round it up. Plus, you have to do a reimbursement. Let me just make sure I don't go over the legal amount because it can't be over 3%. So $2,798.18 times 3%. So your health insurance reimbursement to mom, although you pay $275, according to the law, it can't be, the health insurance amount that she reimburses you cannot be more than 3%. So that caps at about $84. So $670 plus $84 is $754. That's how much you'll pay your mom a month. $754 exactly. No, because you need to pay for your own children now. Excuse me, I'm speaking. It's $754. It's what's in the best interest of the children. These are your children, not your mother's children. These are her grandchildren. And I went ahead and ordered that you pay child support because based on your testimony, you'll be moving out in a couple of months anyway.